to be king!
What's up, man? Before I get into the video today, I want to thank all of my new subs and all of the men and the few women that have come into this space and shared your narrative, your opinion, and most of all, your praise and encouragement. I don't make anything from this at all, and like I've said before, I didn't set out making this channel, you know, trying to become some sort of character or, you know, play the numbers game and any of that. And that's part of the reason why, you know, my content comes sparingly. I think there's a really big difference between having something to say and having to say something. And a lot of guys, you know, they're so dependent on, you know, keeping people in the space that they're in because that's the way that they make their money. And, you know, by all means, get your hustle. But for me, you know, recently in the past couple of weeks, I decided to take on a couple of new business ventures in making tactical equipment, in particular plate carriers, and then training equipment. And we're really focusing on sandbags. And these things, you know, they're necessities for the people that I train and, you know, my team. But also in making these things, it's given me an opportunity to learn new skills and to add to my value as a man. And ironically enough, you know, one of the things that I've had to learn is how to run this old dinosaur. And it's been pretty fun, man. It's been a good learning experience, and I've actually really enjoyed doing this. I've got a newer model, but this thing is post World War II, and some of the technology in this thing is, I mean, at the time it was top of the line. And I found, you know, I've got one that I paid $1,500 for a couple of years ago. This thing smokes it. And so, you know, it's been real chill, dude. It's been fun learning a new thing. I'm providing equipment for my guys. I'm providing training equipment for my kids and my athletes and my warriors. But I'm also creating another stream of revenue, because once I lock these sandbags up, I'm going to put those things on the market and start selling them. Along with, you know, I've got my t-shirt company, which supports my veterans program. So all of this stuff keeps me really, really busy, and it's hard to make content if and when I don't see any real purpose in doing so. And so over the past couple of weeks, I've been busy doing this thing and then working on building my agoge camp for kids and fathers and sons. And so we've been really hammering down, and I haven't had time to waste any time consuming anyone else's content or doing any of that stuff, because I've made up my mind that I'm going to really separate myself away from this manosphere space, because there's a lot of dudes that are in this space that are, you know, they've gotten quite a big following. And I don't really have any desire to try to enter into that space and play the game. You know, I could make a lot of trash videos. I could talk shit about every one of these clowns and get a lot of clicks and laughs and all that, but that's not what I'm here for, man. I would really like to help men achieve a life that makes them feel fulfilled and, you know, that they can sustain. I'm not here to try to push happiness or to do any of that stuff. What I'm trying to do really is I'm trying to get men to embrace their masculinity and to expand upon that masculinity. And I think that a big part of what the red pill manosphere space has become, it's really become akin to what the feminist movement was, and the women that used to sit around and gossip around the tabloid magazines and the trash that was on TV, especially in the black manosphere space. When you look at how so many of these content creators, if they're not speaking out of the side of their fucking head about ignorant shit, making your woman submit, and all of this stupid shit, you know, like you want a slave and not a woman in your life. If it's not that horse shit, then it's this celebrity gossip And that's the majority of that. Even the ones who spew this other pimp shit and all that stuff, they always swing back to gossip. It's gossip. It's tabloid conjecture. It's, look at this simp. Look at who this dude is married to. Look at what he did. And you got grown-ass men worried about where grown-ass men put their piece. You got grown-ass men worried about who other grown-ass men choose to bring into their lives or how they choose to spend their time. That's what women do. And it's hilarious to me that we got so many fake-ass alpha dudes that's their content, spewing shit about what other men do. And then talk like there's some sort of, king standing on a hill. You are a fucking clown. You're just like the women that you berate. And that's, to me, I don't want to be in the same space as these type of people at all. I don't want to be compared to those people at all. Because there's a lot of people that I know that are coming in, that are discovering the manosphere space, mostly because of Kevin Samuels. And they watch some of the other people that are in this space, and they come back and go, why are you a part of that? And I'm not. I'm really not, because I don't really subscribe to all that. I don't subscribe to the loser talk. What I think is we need to start a new movement. We need to start a new movement, a new ism, since that seems to be the new thing. And so what I'm going to start really focusing on is masculism. We're gonna start building masculism. We're gonna start this ideological movement, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a new framework of what it means to be men. The first thing that I say to men watching my channel, if you're watching this channel, I want you to really take a look at the things that you do, the things that you consume. Are you watching videos about what athletes or movie stars or rappers do? Are you consuming that? If you are, you're acting like a broad. If you're consuming that and drawing some sort of parallel to your life, to someone that's reached the status in what their chosen career is that you're never gonna probably reach in your life because you really don't have a path, you're kind of silly. This idea that the black community in particular has had to line themselves up with the lowest common denominator in the community. LeBron James is a crybaby piece of shit. This entitled pussy motherfucker is telling the black community that they're victims. This big 6'8", 250-pound bitch is scared to go outside. See, LeBron's a hoe. Because if that's true, LeBron's a hoe. He's a hoe-ass nigga. I'm 5'11", and I ain't scared to go nowhere. I'll go wherever the fuck I want to go. Now, I know there might be ramifications for that, but you know what? I'm not afraid of that shit coming from the police. I'm more afraid of somebody who looks more like me doing something dirty to me than I am the cops. But this dude this is the dude that these people look up to, that they idolize. And so when he comes out and says some old bullshit like this to propagate this Marxist movement that we got, you got a bunch of goofy motherfuckers that are cheering it on. And when you've got different dudes that are doing loser shit, these dudes are propped up. But then you get a good guy who marries someone that these clowns deems to be unworthy, and then he's a simp and a sucker. I think what we need to do is we need to start focusing on man shit. Men don't worry about what other men are doing with their dicks. Men don't worry about what other men are doing with their lives, with who they choose to commit to. Men don't worry about what other men do and gather around a bunch of sheep going, look, man, what, just watch. Maybe it will fail. Maybe it won't, but it ain't none of your motherfucking business whether it does or not. Because being a loser on the sidelines, cheerleading or hating on somebody else, that makes you a hoe. So that's number one. Number two, I would say, look at how you show up online. Now, what do I mean by that? Do you take selfies? Now, I'm talking about for real, do you take selfies? Do you take pictures of yourself and post them online, thirsty for some sort of validation? I don't give a shit if it's because you went to the gym and you're feeling yourself, or you're just riding in your car and you take a picture of yourself and put some goofy shit at the bottom. That's some feminine, vaginal shit. You are in a space where you're competing with parasites. Social media is not reality, and we all know that by now. In this space, we look at social media, how the thotties, how they misrepresent, and how the ugly girls, you use these filters and stuff. But how do you do it? You know what I mean? Like I don't even go on social media unless I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm bored. That to me, just scrolling through that, it makes my stomach turn. The women have been disgusting on there for a while, but men have become equally thirsty, trying to find their niche. Everybody's swole, everybody's oiled up, everybody's flashing, everybody's stunting. And now dudes starting to do gay shit, pulling their drawers down and man, if you do that, you're doing some gay shit. You're a vaginal dude. You need to stop that. That is not masculine. That does not go along the framework of masculism. I'm not playing, man. We need to really start a movement to where we redefine this and stop doing what is popular. What's popular amongst men right now is to act like bitches. And a lot of times it's really hard to see. It's hard to see where you stand if that's where you stood your whole life. If you don't have the ability to pull yourself back and view yourself from the outside. Most people don't want honest criticism at all. What they want is to get an echo chamber full of the dummies that agree with them so they can put on their little act and everybody applauds them and tells them, man, that was the shit. You're the man, and be good with that. Very few people want to deal with criticisms of how they show up. Most people that I see they only want to deal with people who make them feel about themselves the way that they feel about themselves. I choose to surround myself with men who will tell me the truth. Men who will tell me the truth and say, you know what? That thing that you said, that thing that you did, that way that you're showing up is you kind of being weak, man. You're kind of being a bitch. And instead of getting in my feelings, I deal with that initial reaction and I check it off. I readjust, recalibrate, and then re-engage. Men really need to tighten up what it means to be men. And that's gonna mean different shit to every guy. But one of the things that we have to do as men, we absolutely have to do it, is we have to take attention away from the things that we don't like. If all that you're consuming is examples of things that you don't like, that's all you're gonna bring into your life is more of the same. Be it by watching videos or your interactions with people. It's gonna be negative and it's gonna be exactly what you don't want. It might not be for you, but it will be in your life. If you know what you don't want, if you know the playbook and you know what you don't want, then you need to go toward what you do. Start building yourself as a man. The whole mantra, money, muscles, and game, all of that's bullshit. Because you can have all of those things. You can have all of those things in abundance. If you're still a piece of shit as a person, if you still have no substance as a person, if all you got is money, muscles, and game, all you're gonna do is be on the same rotation as these other idiots that are telling you to do this shit. Now I'm gonna let you men on a little secret. Boning a bunch of chicks doesn't make you a man. That's what you do when you first figure out what your little nuts are for and you go on a fucking spree. That's what little boys do. Real men understand what their worth is and they have the ability to walk away and choose what they want. See, there's no power in boning a bunch of easy hoes. Where the power lies is being able to walk away and knowing that you're valuable. The moment you lay down with one of these stink bitches, you know better than they are. You can notch it up and beat on your chest like one of these dumb monkeys, but you're giving away a piece of your soul to someone who doesn't deserve a minute of your time. So follow those two things, fellas. Look at what you consume on a daily basis and pay attention to how you show up in your virtual social world. You showing up like a thirsty bitch? Or are you too busy grinding, trying to get to where you're trying to go, to spend time taking pictures of yourself like a little teenage girl. We're gonna move this masculism forward. We're gonna leave all the pills to the junkies. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take men who wanna march forward and we're gonna bust down the gates from the fucking kingdom. We're gonna kick this shit down. See, I don't think bees waste any time explaining to flies that honey tastes better than shit. So we're not gonna spend no more time dealing with any of these little crybabies or dudes that wanna speak loser shit. We're gonna advance the movement of masculism, and we're gonna take this shit all the way back. We're gonna take back control of our culture. We're gonna take back control of our children, and we're gonna take back control of our world. Out.